I have written in a diary every single day for the past 1,000 days. I've written in a journal every single day for 2,000 days, and this is what it looks like. I have been writing in a journal every single day for 3,000 days. Hello everyone, my name is Carrie. For those of you who don't know me, welcome here. And as of yesterday, I have been journaling every single day for 3,000 days. Also yesterday, for the day that I'm filming this, was March 20th of 2025. So this was me journaling on my 3,000th day of daily journaling, and as you can see, we are nice and cozy and comfortable. I had just gotten back from a 12-hour work shift. I had clothes all over my bed since I'm wanting to donate a bunch of it, and there was science experiment stuff all over my floor from the online class I'm taking, so it definitely was not the most glamorous journaling sesh, but that is okay. We're just keeping it real over here. I will say, it really is incredible to reflect back on my journaling experience, which is a lot of what I wanted to talk about in today's video, and it's especially crazy to just think about how I'm using my own products right now from the journaling kits that I released with Pentel, which, oh by the way, if you haven't checked them out, you totally should, and they actually are now on Amazon too if you want to check that out. The links are in the description down below. But really, I am just so grateful for how far I've come. Little 6-year-old Carrie would have had no idea that I would be here in my journaling journey when I first started at 6 years old. And I was 14 when I started daily journaling, and so that's just crazy to think that I've stuck with it for 3,000 days. And just for reference, 1,000 days is just under 3 years. So 3,000 days, that's over 8 years of journaling every single day. It's crazy that I've had my YouTube channel for about 2/3 of that time. What's so wild is just to see how much I've changed. I've changed so much since the 2,000 days milestone, the 1,000 days, or even when I first started journaling. I mean, you can go back and look at those YouTube videos and see just visually, I look like a completely different person in both of those past two videos. And it is just the coolest thing that all of these journals capture the transition, the days in between those videos of who I am and how I turned into who I am now. Just a quick recap on my journaling history and facts and things like that. I first started daily journaling on January 1st of 2017. I was 14 years old, and I had just set out to daily journal for the entire year. And then I just kind of kept going. In this stack, there are 24 journals. I actually, though, have 3 other journals. These are the ones that I wrote in before I started daily journaling. I started journaling when I was 6 years old, and this one took me like 5 years to fill up. This took, I think, like 2 or 3 years. And then this one was like a year and a half, and I finished it right before I started daily journaling in 2017. So this bottom journal here is my current journal. It's my 27th journal, and I'm actually about to finish it soon. When I first started daily journaling on January 1st of 2017, I would have never thought that I would continue doing it for almost 10 years now. That's an entire decade. That's ridiculous. But here we are, and now at 3,000 days, I really have no idea when I'm gonna stop. Maybe I'll have a 4,000 days video or a 5,000 days, I don't know. What's also crazy is that my 8-year journaling anniversary this past January was also the day that I got married, so I also would have never thought that I'd be getting married 8 years after I started daily journaling. Other quick journaling facts about me is that I always start my entry before midnight. I can finish it after midnight, but I always start before midnight. I also do at least 1 page a day. In 2019, I think it was, I wrote 2 pages a day, and then like for the last few months of 2019, it was like 4 pages a day, which was crazy. Now I only do 1 page a day. Also, for like the past year and a half, I have been including color in almost every single one of my journal entries in some way, shape, or form. And then I guess this is kind of like a rule, but also just like the structure of my journal entries. I always start it with the day of the week, the time that I start my journal entry, and then the date. I've thought about like changing up that structure just because I always like write it out in pen, and I think it could be fun to maybe like hand letter it or do something interesting, but I just have been doing the same structure for so long, so it would feel weird to break it. Journaling has really given me a perspective on how much life we live and also forget. Even though there's so much of my life written down on these pages, it's still only a fraction of my life. When I sit down to journal every single day and just write 1 page, I'm like, this is just a percentage of my thoughts, my feelings, the things that happened today, stuff going on in my life, the things I learned or saw or experienced. It's only a small little percentage of it in my journal entry. And so to think about how much life I have documented and how much of just that stuff I've forgotten from when I like go back and read it and realize, wow, I do not remember this, or oh yeah, I do remember that, but I totally had forgotten about it. And if I hadn't written it, I would have forgotten it forever probably. To think that I forget forget so much of that like fraction of my life is just crazy to then think about how much of life I haven't documented and how much just like is left in the past. And I think that there's a really beautiful balance between cherishing and holding on to those memories that you can document, and also accepting that, you know, that's just how life is. You're not going to remember everything, which is a good thing, honestly. I feel like my brain would explode if I could remember everything, but it's just the wildest thing to think about. And my stack of journals really just kind of ties my life together. When I see those versions of me in these past videos and I see how I'm such a different person, I don't recognize myself, and I'm like, how did I get to where I am now? Well, I literally have this timeline, these pages that connect me, my past self, to my current self, and that's a really special thing. Look at me, like this was me 3 years ago. I think I was 17 when I filmed this, and now I'm 20. Look at me. Look at this. This is crazy.
I think I can make it to 3,000 days. Maybe I'll still be making YouTube videos and we'll have an update then.
That's so wild. Anyway, the last thing that I wanted to ask you guys is, since I am, you know, 3,000 days into journaling and I've been doing a page a day for 8 years, over 8 years, I was wondering if at some point I should change up my routine. Maybe when I get to 10 years, or maybe on a random day, try not journaling a full page every day. I mentioned this a little bit in my last video, and I see pros and cons to doing both. I love having a page a day because it challenges me to fill the page. And oftentimes when I don't have a good idea of what to write about or what to fill the page with, I will produce something and be creative in ways that I haven't been before, and so I really like that. And then also with writing a page a day, it also will like force me to write more and document more of my life during days that I'm really not feeling up for writing. One of the cons though of doing a full page a day is that when I'm not in those moods for writing, sometimes I literally will just scribble through the page, or I feel like what I'm writing is not really that, you know, full of substance. I'm just kind of writing nonsense to fill up the page of like, I'm tired, I'm ready to go to bed, here's a random to-do list. And at the same time, I do appreciate how that's an accurate depiction of my day-to-day life, because if I didn't write a page a day and I only wrote the stuff that was like worth writing, then when I look back at it, I just feel like I wouldn't get a full picture of my life. Not that even, you know, this gives a full picture of everything, but you know what I mean? It just would be less of that if I didn't write a full page a day. But also when I think of how many journals I have, I'm like, if I'm gonna look back on my journal entries, wouldn't I want to read the things that I thought were like more important and not like seeing random to-do lists? I don't know. If I did switch to not doing a page a day and just writing like at least a sentence a day of whatever I felt I wanted to write, I would just pick up the next entry right where I left off on the last one so that I didn't waste paper or leave anything blank. A pro of not writing a full page a day, I feel like I would maybe more likely write more than a page on days that I am wanting to write, because nowadays I almost never write more than one page. You know, I'm a busy person, and when I'm already dedicating time every day to write a whole page, like, it's hard for me to set aside time to do more than that. I could if I wanted to, I just don't, honestly. But I feel like if I were to be more flexible with myself and let myself write like a paragraph this day or one sentence that day, then on another day I might feel more inclined to write like a good amount. A con of that, I feel like too, if I'm in a busy season, knowing myself, I would just keep excusing it and be like, oh, I'm just gonna write a sentence today. Oh, and the next day I'm gonna do the same thing because I'm just tired or I'm busy. And then the next day I do the same thing, and then sure enough, like a week or two has gone by and I'm like, wow, I really have not written much at all. So I don't know. What are your thoughts? I would love to know, because I want to make a decision. It's also crazy to think about me making this video for 4,000 days. So hello 4,000 day Carrie, if you're watching this, which I'm sure you probably are. Back at 2,000 days, I didn't know I was going to be married at 3,000 days. So I wonder what life will look like at 4,000 days. Anyway, thank you so much for those of you who have been here since 1,000 days or 2,000 days, or for those of you who just got here or got here at any point in between. Thank you for following along with my life and my journaling journey, and I'll see you guys at 4,000 days. Bye guys.